Hey Jackal! In this video I showed you how to make a cool facecam template in DaVinci Resolve, but you could only use it for video editing. In this video I'll show you how to make a facecam template that you can use in OBS. So let's go to DaVinci Resolve and we'll make a quick template. Now the camera overlay that I made in the previous video looks something like this. It looks fine, but it's not useful for OBS because this is too random and you want to have this on a loop, and at the beginning and at the end this is not the same. So this is not what you want. You want something simple like this border, and we can also change the color to go around. So let's make a new fusion composition, put this onto a timeline, and we'll extend it to make it maybe 20 seconds long. So change clip duration, put in 20 seconds, select it and go into the fusion page. Now inside here I'll simply use a rectangle and a background node to make the shape. In the rectangle we'll uncheck the solid, increase the border width. Usually what you may want to do is to put the image in that you'll be using on your stream in OBS. And also this is a little bit too big. So we could go into the project resolution and in this case change the timeline resolution to something else. And for streaming purposes you could go with 1920 by 1080, but because the quality will be low anyway, you could also go for 1280 by 720. So let's go back into the fusion composition. So now this is a lot smaller, which means that the video will also be a lot smaller. And when it comes to streaming, you don't want to be using images and videos that have a big file size. We can now change the color of the background, so you can have a gradient if you want. And you can also animate the gradient if you want. In this case, maybe I'll just go with a solid white color, reduce the border width, something like this should be fine, and maybe we can have a second border that will be animating around this one. So I will simply copy these two nodes, connect them, increase the size a little bit, so this one will be 0.52 and 0.52. So the height is a little bit small, 0.53. Looks just about right. Maybe make the border width a little bit thinner, 0.0025. Looks just about right. And now we'll be animating the position, or actually we'll be animating the length. So we can do it like so, and then we can animate the position. We'll go to the beginning. So frame 0, keyframe the position, go to the end, and the position will be 1. So now this will make one whole circle in 20 seconds, and then it will simply repeat flawlessly. Now what we can do to make this animation look a little bit better is flip it, so you can have two elements. I'll put one here, and to do that we can use the mirror modifier. So we can flip it like that, or we could also change the angle. So using mirrors is one way. We could use a transform node and connect this background to here and simply merge the two like so. Now we basically have two lines, but we can simply use the flip options here. So we can get something like this. We could maybe put this merge to this point, connect it like so. And I've done this, so we can now connect the mirror if we so want. So let's see what we have. Now you can get a bunch of cool options depending on how you use this mirror modifier. And you can also enable multiple of them. Maybe I'll just go without, but what we can do is add some color to this. So instead of this being white, we can maybe have it yellow, and we can also add some glow to this. Let's add some soft glow. So maybe this is what you want. You could also have a simple text above, maybe below. You can do this in DaVinci Resolve, or you can use an image for this. Maybe I'll just use a simple text node. So this is what you have. You will then export this. So it is transparent, as you can see. But if you export this as is, it will have a black background. First, let me set the I and O, so we only export this video. We'll go to the delivery page, and inside here, you have a couple of options how you can export this. I'll simply use QuickTime. I'll choose the Grass Valley, and here we have the Export Alpha option, so you have to enable it. Specify the location and the file name, and export this out. And also specify the type. In this case we have 1280 by 720. Let's see how it looks like. Open with. It looks like this. Not the best, I'll tell you that. We'll see how this will look like in OBS. Now to use a video file, we'll want to make a scene and add something to the scene. That something will be the media source. You'll have to find the file and open it. You will specify the loop because you want this to loop. Let's go with OK. And this is how it looks like. As you can see, it started playing, and I could now position it where I need it to. In this case though, it looks a little bit green. Now we definitely want to fix this so it's not green, and I'll also show you how you can make files smaller. In this case, this is actually quite small, but you can have face overlays that are 1 GB in size, which is just too much, especially if you want to stream. So I got rid of the green. In this case, what I had to do was select QuickTime format, the codec GoPro Sine Form, not the Grass Valley one, set the type to RGB 16-bit. If you leave it to UV 10-bit, you don't have the alpha option, and then you also have to export the alpha and set the resolution to be the same as the timeline. In this case, I've set it to 1280 by 720. Then once you go in, right click on the properties, and this is the one that I've done with these settings. And it works just as intended. You just need to have a face cam. I don't have a face cam in OBS. Otherwise you can just put an image of yourself, so you can position this how you want, and you can also scale it up and down. But ideally you'll have an image of a game or anything else that you will be using. Put that into DaVinci Resolve so you can position the camera overlay how you want, and you'll simply export it at that size. So this is done, but what about the size? In this case the size is a lot bigger, as you can see, 165 megabytes. So I'll take this file and I'll show you how to make it smaller. Now to make the file size smaller, we'll be using SureX. It's free to download and to use, and you'll simply go to download, and you can use the setup or the portable version. I've used the portable one, so you don't have to install it. Now I have unpacked the portable version into a new folder and put the video file inside. Now you don't have to put the video file inside, I just made it so that I have it on hand. Then launch the exe file, go to Tools and Convert Video. You'll want to select the webm option. This makes it so the video file will be a lot smaller and OBS can also use it. You'll want to find the video file that you want to convert, and you can also change the output path and the output file name. You can also change the quality, lower quality and lower file size, or higher quality and bigger file size, but I'll leave it to default for now and see what I get. And now let's take a look at the quality and the file size. This is the original one, 165 megabytes, and this is the webm version, 159 kilobytes. And if I take out the calculator just so you can see how big the difference actually is, so if this one is 165 megabytes, you have to multiply this by 124 to get kilobytes. So you have this many kilobytes divided by 159 kilobytes. If we round this down, the reduction is 1000 times. Now let's put this into the face cam overlay. Maybe I'll add another one so we can see the difference between the two. So we have the webm option. It will also loop. Click OK. And the webm option is at the top. And this one, original one, is on the bottom. Now that's it when it comes to making facecam overlays in DaVinci Resolve and exporting them with a transparent background and using something like ShreX to reduce the file size significantly while also preserving the transparency, which you can then use in OBS without having to worry about if your PC is powerful enough, but most importantly, if the file size is small, you also don't have to worry about your upload speed. And if you found this video helpful, you know what to do. I'm Simon, and until next time, Jackal, keep it digital.